All right, everybody, it's your Uncle Ed. Hopefully, you had a fantastic weekend. I know I did. It was packed, and hopefully, yours was, and you were surrounded by the right people. Speaking of the right people, so today in this episode, it's actually the maiden voyage. I'm excited. This is mic drop number one, numero uno. Why is it mic drop? Because we have the one and only Mike Aguilera here, who is an NLP master sales trainer as well. He's awesome. He wrote the book How to Connect with Anyone in 90 Seconds or Less. So if you haven't read that book, step number one, you got to go read it because it's an amazing book. And so I have the man here today. And today we're going to talk about how to be influential. I think that's really, really important, for those of us who own businesses or out there servicing the public and, we get the honor of being able to do that and make a difference in people's lives. Part of it is being influential. How do you become influential in your own community and then kind of ripple out? But it starts in your own backyard. So thank you very much for mic drop number one, Mr. Mike Aguilera. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Nick. Love the energy.
Yeah, you know me, man. I never like that. That's one
Yeah.
thing that comes in spades. Uncle Ed is always energized. I'm always pumped about life.
Yes, you are.
Very good. So let's talk about kind of how you filter out, Mike, this whole premise of how to be influential. I mean, look, it can mean different things to different people. We call it a green word. A green word, by the way, everyone, is something that means different things to different people. And influential certainly is one of those things. So when we talk about that, kind of distill this whole thing, what does it mean to even be influential, Mike?
Yeah. Early on, as I was learning communication skills through NLP and talking to different people, most of them, and you probably know this as well, think I just need that magic script, just those words to say to get that person to say yes. You can give a script to one person and then same script to someone else and have two different outcomes. One can be
That is
successful,
totally true.
the other one just doesn't work at all because it's not just the words or the script. Scripts are okay as bullet points to give you an outline. However, overall, the scripts works the best for are the ones that wrote it. They'll be influenced by hearing that script. And I tell people it's good to have a script. However, other elements to be successful and connect with people, just know your outcome. Do you want them to take action?
Mm.
Do you want them to meet with you? Know your intentions, because people will know your intentions. And that's where, and your intentions should be to help somebody. And people will sense that. And that's where being influential comes in. It's not having the perfect script, it's holistic, your whole mind and
Mm.
body, your mindset, your body motion, your gestures, your words, dangerous words, powerful words, your voice. There's voice patterns of influence. Your mindset is a foundation of it all, and in your presence, how to be present.
Yeah,
Networking, meetings, whatever you're doing, there's some key elements, and people will sense that. What I call it a subconscious level. You'll be talking to somebody, and there's a connection, and either they connect with you or they don't. And it's that subconscious level that, in essence, the intuition. I got a good feeling about this person, or I'm going to shop around. I'm going to think about this. So that's how everything comes across as being influential, where the way you're communicating with somebody is not just the words, it's not just asking a question, it's really understanding the person and then talking to them in a way that they need to hear, both the words, your gestures, your body motion, your voice, to make them acknowledge and understand what you're saying, and ultimately say yes to whatever outcome that you want. Does that make sense?
makes sense. So you mentioned you had distilled it into three different parts. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yes. The foundation of good communication, to me, what I've discovered is the mindset. And there's that also, your mindset will be project what you're feeling and thinking about. And there's an old saying, watch your thoughts. Your thoughts will impact your words. Watch your words. Your words will impact your character. Watch your character. Your character will ultimately impact your destiny. So it all starts with the thoughts. So what you're thinking
100%.
about, and then the other element is first impressions. And then the third one, well, first impressions is when you meet somebody for the first time.
Yeah.
And actually, you can make a first impression even though you met them already. because a lot of people are not memorable. So they're meeting you for the second time, but it could be if you meet them correctly and approach them in the right way and make eye contact and do some icebreakers that make them memorable, then that's a new first impression, and that's the one that's going to be memorable. And then the conversation, when you're having a conversation with somebody, what you want to listen for, what questions you want to ask, that will guide their emotions in a positive way. Because most when you start talking about a lot of pain during a conversation, it creates negative emotions. And then there's a transference of, I don't know, when I'm talking to this person, I feel bad. I don't know why. Just so you want to talk about what gaps it might be, what they want as an outcome. They quickly shift into a positive outcome, into what I call possibilities. So it begins with the mindset and the things you think about. Would you like me to share a few things about the mindset?
Yeah, absolutely. And, and part of that too, yes, the answer is yes, Mike. Part of what I tell people is this, is that be careful what you're ingesting, right? What are you watching everything? Because it does influence your mindset. I mean, nobody wants to be around a Debbie Downer, as we say. Nobody wants to be around people who are negative. We want to be around people who are positive. I mean, not like that fake, always like, oh, look at me, I'm always in super, right? There's that extreme, of course. And we're not talking about that. We're talking about somebody who's genuinely, has the joie de vivre, right? As the French say, but that also is creative, right? And is more of the let's go win together kind of thing, more communal.
Mhm.
The other piece is because it does influence, I believe, your outcomes. What you think,
Mhm.
like you said, there's a whole progression, right? That leads all the way down to your shoes. It starts up here and it goes all the way down to your shoes. How are you really moving about in the world,
Mhm.
right? I think that's so influential. But tell me.
Yes. And mindset. There are a couple of key elements on the mindset. One is assume rapport. And when you assume rapport, and for me, a little background, I'm a self-proclaimed introvert. And also when I was young, I was labeled as shy. So I had that stigma of shy being, okay, I'm not confident. And also I used to have the imposter syndrome when I first got into the high tech field. I just thought, I just do I belong here? And so I had to go through NLP, I had to go through my own self-development and self-improvement and just kind of create frames and change things that made me feel better and for me to connect with other people and not be so self just consciously thinking about myself. And people do that a lot at networking events. They think, you're going to meet the right person. Is it going to be a waste of time? Is this going to be an event that's worth going to? So they're already projecting out that it's going to be bad. And that'll create filters of what you're going to notice. So one is assume rapport. Assume they're going to like you and assume you're going to be okay with them. So from that point, and that's for me, with being shy, instead of thinking about myself, I started to think about how I can make other people comfortable. And same as being an introvert. Because I don't go to events and say, hey, I'm here. I just go there to connect with people and make connections and help people and build relationships. And so assume rapport, you project warmth and confidence. And the other element of an assumption is expectations. Expect you're going to like the person. Expect they're going to be okay with you. Expect to get yes. Expect to meet great people at a networking event. You will start to create filters and see opportunities where other people are missing them. There's part of your subconscious mind called the reticular activating systems. And it's always searching for what's important to you. If it's something good or bad. If you're going to buy a new car, suddenly you start to see that car everywhere. On the road, commercials, on the internet. It's not as if they made more cars. It's just your reticular activating system. Oh, that's important to you. Let's keep an eye out for that. So you start to sense things. Same thing. If you're thinking about an event or a client meeting's going to go bad, you will start to notice things that are not necessarily reality. You think, oh, he's frowning. Oh, that person doesn't look like a good client. So you start to notice things, and that'll impact the way you feel and also the way you're going to notice and create opportunities around you. So expect, like them. And I tell this to a lot of people that do cold calling. Expect you're going to like them on the other side of the phone. Expect they're going to be okay. Let them hear your smile in your voice. And so they'll start to connect with them over the phone versus if they're thinking it's probably going to annoy them, your voice will change. You'll become defensive. You're going to use words, and your voice might be a little, just not smooth and warm. And so there's that old term, what you expect creates a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Prophecy,
So
100%. It's almost like The Secret. Remember that whole movie? Is that
yes,
you get the energy that you put out, and if you expect bad, you're going to get bad. If you put out
mhm,
good, you get back
yeah,
good. Same thing with people. You know, the energy you put. What is it that your vibe is your tribe, right?
mhm,
The energy that you put out are the same type of people that you get back. So if you've been in one real bad relationship after another, you better start looking in the mirror because maybe that's where the answers are at starting out, right? Like you're the common
yes,
denominator, right? Kind of thing.
yes,
I think that is so spot on, Mike. And I think part of it is that when we do spring cleaning, we got to really be honest in the mirror and say to ourselves, what maybe kind of change in my energy do I need to put
yeah,
out there, right? Do I need to start really focusing on putting more good energy out there and be more of a giver's gain kind of person? You know, like you said, I mean, if you go out there just talking about yourself, I mean, nobody likes entitled narcissists. At least I don't, right? But if you go out there, one of the things that I've used as a hack myself in networking, you know, I do a ton of networking events and I attended a lot of them, is I go there with mindset of I'm going there to be a professional connector. Who am I going to introduce at the event? And guess what ends up happening? They take note and they start introducing me to other people. So then it becomes a lot easier to network because one of the rubs that I have seen or the inertia of networking is that people are not always great at breaking the ice because they have all these negative thoughts. Oh, I don't want to interrupt anybody. Everybody seems to be paired up. Maybe I came to the wrong event. And so they're over there at the bar sipping way too many drinks and too many Mai Tais when in fact they don't even drink, but they're doing the social lubrication thing in order to kind of muster up to go talk to somebody when in fact, here's the news, guys. News at 11. We're all the same. We all pretty much want the same things. And we're all going to have awkward moments. We're going to have great moments and everything in between. But here's the thing is that in order for you to get what you want, you have to put yourself out there. And the first thing, like Mike said, is put yourself out there in a positive way. Already assume that they're going to like you. Already assume that you're going to have a good time. And I'll tell you, let me give you an example. Have you ever tried to fake your death to not go to an event? And you talking yourself, I don't want to go, I don't want to go, but then you force yourself to go, and then you're like, I'm so glad I went because you met amazing people. There's your evidence, right, Mike?
one other thing about expectations, expect to be lucky. You'll notice things that people won't. Actually, there's a book I read years ago called The Luck Factor, as in being lucky, the luck factor. And they did experiments with hundreds of people that said they were unlucky, bad relationships, money problems, and hundreds of people that were lucky, great relationship, great money. And they did experiments like they would do one experiment in one room, and they go to the next room for part two. And they place a $20 bill on the floor. All the unlucky people walked past it. The lucky people, all of them saw the $20 bill. $20 bill. Did someone drop it or can I keep it? So unlucky people just filter things out. It's not real or they're just so tunnel vision. So
And
expect to be
sometimes
lucky.
jaded.
Yeah. When you go on to a Zoom room session, expect to be lucky. Expect to hear things that will help you. You start to filter things and see things and hear things that will accelerate your growth. If you think I expect this networking event not to be good, then you're going to notice people that are not good. You're going to say, oh, that's probably not a good contact. So your expectation. And here's a tip for first impressions. We're talking about networking events and talking to people.
Yeah.
Compliment. You're at a networking event, just hey, I love
Excellent.
that shirt. It just breaks the ice, and it it frames it as a compliment of someone being acknowledged. Or I would even tell people, hey, that drink looks refreshing. Oh yeah, it is. And the drink's over there. Oh hi, I'm Mike. So it could be a compliment, or it could be just talking about what they're holding. But the compliment's the most powerful one because people are floating through the world as lost souls. And once you acknowledge
So
them and give them
true.
a compliment, they feel good about themselves. So I tell people, if you want more happiness in your life, make other people happy. Give them a
100%,
compliment.
Mike.
And for me, as been labeled as shy, and I'll just tell you quickly how I reframe that. I changed, this is in NLP, it's called reframing or framing. I changed the word shy to mean respectful and courteous. So I didn't want to go to a networking event thinking, am I going to interrupt conversation? So I went there now to be respectful, helpful, courteous, which is in essence what shy people have. And so that's where I would go there to see if anyone was alone, walk up to them, just compliment people. And I've even gotten a coaching client from complimenting somebody. I complimented this woman about her shoes. Oh, I love those shoes. And I don't know how you ladies walk in those shoes. I have trouble walking in flats. And so we laughed and we talked about each other, what we do. And she hired me to coach her for presentation skills. So you never know where a conversation will lead. And I didn't expect that. I just told her what I did and
A
companies I've done for.
100%, Mike. That is your mic drop for today, folks. You know what? You took it out of my playbook is the same, Mike. I am the guy that, when you're in an elevator, everybody feels like the person next to him is the Unabomber. I'm the person who will literally look for things to compliment you on. To me, it is the number one icebreaker to talk to a stranger anytime, any place. It doesn't matter if you're in Mykonos, Greece, you're in Barcelona, Spain, you're in the United States. It doesn't matter. And here's the other reason why. It's because people are not used to compliments anymore. Everybody's on their phone, right? Be present, like Mike said. Be mindful.
Mhm.
Give people compliments. There's nobody who's ever going to be mad at you for complimenting them. So on that note, Mike, thank you so much. Mic drop number 2 is coming. So stay tuned because we got more from where that came from. Thanks again, Mike.
More.
More
My
and more.
pleasure.
You bet. Thank you very much. Totally appreciate you as always, my friend.
Want me to end up with a quote?
Yes, let's end it with a quote.
The quality of your life is impacted and influenced by the quality of your communication.
Mm.
So think about that.
There's your mic drop. I love it. Thanks again, Mike.
Sure thing.
Until next time, guys.